Hey, what's happening? Steakin from Nullingroots.
Hi, I'm Alex.
This is Cameron from Nullingroots, and you're about to get geeked out by the gear gods. So here we are in mine and Alex's house. This is my pedal board. It is a cutting board. It's still a work in progress. There's only 3 effects pedals. This one's just a channel switcher. But first, start off tube screamer. Pretty self-explanatory. I normally keep everything dialed in like 12 o'clock. I don't really mess with anything like that. Just doesn't really sound good to me. So after that, and the bulk of the effects that I use comes from this delay pedal. Tons of different settings. I don't even know all of its capabilities. I just use like 2 of the settings mainly. Some of our riffs are time oriented, but I usually use this for all that shoegazy sound. Just like click it on and tremolo a bunch, and just creates that wall of sound. But you have to mix it with this too. So, and this is a reverb pedal. I got this thing like 10 years ago or something. I've never even tried any other reverb pedals. I just know that this one worked for me, and I've had it since I was a teenager, so hey, it'll work for this. And this, like I said earlier, is a channel switcher. Pretty self-explanatory. So this is my main guitar. In fact, it's really the only guitar I play live or in the recordings. It's a Washburn X50 Pro F. I'm not sure what the F means. I'm not really too familiar with all of Washburn models. I don't even think they make this one anymore. I got this 11 years ago, and I've not seen it in any Guitar Center or Sam Ash again since then. I don't know, I could be wrong on that though. But anyway, it's a neck through. I do not believe it's a set-in neck, and it's a string through. There's EMG 81s and 85 active pickups. I'm thinking switching these pickups with this one. I don't even play that guitar anymore. I've been playing seriously like 6 years or something. The strings are really grimy and disgusting. But yeah, probably gonna be switching the pickups. As far as tuning goes, we play in drop A flat. And the reason for that is when I started this project, I was playing in a brutal death metal band, so really low tuning. And this is the only guitar that I use, so that was the tuning of this band now from then on. So yeah, that pretty much covers the guitar things. So this is my amp. It's a Crank Rev 1. It's all tube. It's either 100 or 120 watts, I don't remember. I got off Craigslist like, I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago. It sounded really good. I never needed a new amp, so I still have it. Sounds good with practically any band that I ever played with. Sounds good for like tech death or this band. So yeah, it's good, whatever. So this cab I actually got off Craigslist from Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses, weirdly enough. Just a random Craigslist ad selling this cab, and yeah, so that's a weird detail about it. But you know, it's just a normal cab. It does what it does. Nothing too much to comment about it.
Alright, so for live performance, here's my setup, and I use a Marshall DSL 100H head. This has been an awesome head so far. It has a very like old school, crunchy, but very dirty sound. It's organic, and it fits very well with our sound, I think. And I also have this Marshall cab that I got back in high school, I believe. Before a church class, I think. But that's my setup live. And then for my pedals, I have nothing too complex because I'm not really a huge pedal guy, but just reverb and delay. So here's the Arena reverb pedal. This thing's great for just like your huge, you know, infinite soaring guitar sounds. And then I also have the Line 6 DL4 delay pedal, and I've actually just started implementing this one. Just going to start using this live as well. Before I was using just the reverb pedal up until now, because it pretty much took care of everything we needed to do, but going to start using the delay as well to mimic what's on the recordings. So that's my live setup. Alright, so these are the two guitars that I've primarily used for this band. This is the one that I used when I first joined. It's a Fender Telecaster, the Thin Line series. And this thing we use to record all of Into the Gray, actually. It has a really, really nice clean tone. So we're probably going to keep using it for future stuff as well. But other than that, the newer guitar that I've started using is this Gibson SG. I think it's a Voodoo series from, I believe, 2004, but I got both of these off good old Craigslist, and this is like pretty much the greatest guitar I've ever played, to be honest. It just has the best feeling. It has a really thick neck. It looks beautiful, and it's really crushing. The tone is really heavy, so it's inspired a lot of new ideas for the new material and everything.
So this drum kit is actually a Thomas Star Classic all maple drum kit, and it's a Japanese edition, which they were doing in the mid 2000s because I believe there was a shortage over here, so they actually went into production. And these drums are kind of limited because they only did them for a year or two. They're still making them here and there, I guess, but these ones just have a beautiful tone quality to them. And because they're kind of like a short run of drums is the main reason why I wanted to get them, because I have always loved Tama drums. I've been playing them for a really long time. But I also want to bring in a classic sound with this Ludwig snare drum. This is a new edition hybrid that they put out. It is 14 by 8 inches, so it's really, really loud and super punchy. And since I only mic my drums, I don't use triggers or anything like that, I really need to have drums that you can hear from across the room. And I chose to use a tom head instead of a traditional snare drum head on it, just so tonally, if I decide to turn the snares off, break drummer rules, and play with the snares off, it actually has the same tone as my tom. And then as pedals, I just standard use DW pedals. I've been using them for a really long time, and I love the weight and how they feel, and especially when you get into doing some of the, faster double bass rhythms, especially with these tom beaters, they really, really punch through. And I kind of muffle the kick drum just so you get more of that punchy type of hit than a tonal sound. Once again, because I'm trying to really get a lot of projection, which is why I chose a bass drum, which is a 24-inch drum. And then moving through the top, we have a 12 by 8 inch, we have a 14 by 10, 16 by 12, and then I have an 18 by 14, so these drums sound massive. And yeah, everyone's always said they can hear them across the room. And then going into cymbals, I kind of mix it up between dry and really high and crisp cymbals. So I like to use this Peisty Wild Crash to get a lot of really, really super high notes when you're riding on a certain section and you just don't want to really let go of that sound. This is perfect for that. And then this is a hybrid Sabian Ride. I really like how dry and punchy the bell is, but then I could still utilize it as a crash cymbal and just get a deeper crash sound that's not as high and bright, a little drier. And then moving over to the Simtech Power Crash, it's a really, really kind of mixture hybrid crash. It sometimes sounds dry the way you hit it, but then if you blast it a certain way or turn it down, it's really wet, so I like it. And then just went to traditional Zildjian A cymbals, real classics, just because I like how they're really, really tonal, especially on the bell. And this is what, on the record when I'm doing the blast beats, you just hear me hammering on this bell. It's kind of like one of my staples for playing. And when playing live, you can hear it all the way across the room, so it's super awesome. And I'm ambidextrous, so that's why you see rides on both sides, because I switch up my patterns for stamina and for strength and power, just because we play really, really long songs and you kind of need to be able to mix it up. And then, yeah, I just use these really, really classic dry Zildjian A hi-hats. Just really, really like that old school sound. I think they were probably in a marching band or orchestra room at some point, and I got them at a pawn shop, so it's the type of cymbals I've been playing. And then just a super dry China cymbal just to bang on just for some blast beats and accents. I try not to use it too much, but it's just there for when it needs to be there to really just muddy up the sound a bit. And yeah, let's run through my gear, man. I'm pretty stoked on this drum set. I'm pretty stoked on how it sounds, and I will always recommend using Tama drums. They're awesome.